Hey guys, welcome back to Resin Bell. This month on Resin Bell, we're going to be doing 30 pours in 30 days. Oh my gosh. A resin on a resin channel? Shocking. I know, right? So we're going to be working with UV resin, epoxy resin. We're going to be doing dirty pours, coasters, jewelry, trays, all kinds of different things. So it's going to get wild. So I hope you guys stay tuned. Okay, for this project you're going to be needing some glitters, chunky and fine, or any glitter you like, a piece of resin project, a small resin project, a pen of your choosing, and some UV resin. Alright, so today I'm just using a Pintel RSVP pen. You can get these Walmart, like most places you can get these pens. They only open from this end. They unscrew, but I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just going to cover right over that. This part does not come out, so what we're going to do is we're going to cover it . That's going to be the end of our pen. We're going to stop that UV resin right there, and yeah, and then this will give us something to hold while we're working on the pen. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a little pen kind of like this one, with this bunny head that I created the other day. If you want to check out that video, you're more than welcome, and I will leave it linked in the description box below. You can also find all of the videos in this series, 30 pours in 30 days, in the playlist that I've created for the series. So yeah, so we're going to be making something kind of like this, and I will show you how that's done. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is put on our UV resin. I do recommend using gloves for this because you're going to be working very closely with the resin. High likelihood of getting it on your hands, and so if that happens, then I am usually wearing gloves. So, alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to put a thin coat to make the glitter stick. And as you can see, I'm just going right over that rubber grip on the pen, and that is not going to cause any problems at all. Just cover it right over. Put our first coat of glitter. I'm using kind of a chunky glitter here, but be advised, when you use chunky glitter, you do end up having to put more coats of UV resin to kind of smooth it out. So keep that in mind. I'm also going to be going over this with some thinner resin for my top coats. So, I mean thinner glitter. Excuse me. Okay. I'm going to tap that off. I'm going to just kind of push that chunky glitter, try to get it pushed down as much as possible to kind of smooth out that texture. Hopefully you guys can see this. Instead of, like, you know, you could see how it's all kind of like sticking out and chunky on this end, like right here. You want to kind of push it down so that it's nice and flat. And I am not rolling it on my hand, I'm just tapping it. Alright, now that that's on, we're going to cure it. And I like to just kind of slowly roll it. By hand. Now if you have a lot of these to do, one of those cup turners or something could come in handy, but if you're just doing one or two, this works just fine. I just roll it back and forth, kind of like this. Back and forth between my fingers so that it can cure on all sides. And having these black gloves is handy to kind of protect your skin from the UV rays. If you use this a lot, you want to do that. Okay, so I have kind of mixed the two different ones of these to create a little bit different color that I think will kind of marry these two colors a little bit once it's on. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this with resin again. I'm just getting some on my finger and I'm just kind of rubbing it on. You can also sprinkle it, but this glitter is so fine it basically just clumps together, so that's why I'm kind of just smearing it on. This glitter is kind of a translucent glitter so that you can still see the chunky glitter underneath, but it just kind of marries it all together and it kind of makes the color a little more even and closer to our bunny rabbit. It's almost like mixing pigments to get the right color. You're putting layers of glitter on to try to get the color that you want. Really liking how that's turning out. You can kind of see it's kind of toned down the greens in that chunky glitter, but you can still see the chunky glitter underneath, and it gives your project a lot of depth, which is fun. Okay, I like that. I'm going to cure that as well. Another minute. And I'll be turning it back and forth the whole time. Okay, so as you can see, This has some pretty chunky little pieces still kind of sticking out. That is the risk you run with the chunky glitter, but all you got to do is add another layer of clear resin over the top. And I'm going to do that, and that will help. And then you can just repeat that as many times as you need to get it to even out. You can do this as thick or as thin as you want. You can do multiple layers if you want. And you can kind of feel with your finger when you're rubbing this across where you need more. So that can make an even layer and kind of smooth itself out. You can kind of see it's starting to really even itself out pretty well. I'm going to cure that. Okay, you guys, look at that sparkle. Look at that depth. Adding those different layers of resin, of glitter. Adding those different layers of glitter really kind of does something magical to these little pens. You're getting that under sparkle with the big flakes, and then getting the top sparkle with the tiny flakes, the iridescent see-through flakes. And it just looks so cool. All right, on to the next step. All right, it's all finished up. So we just got to remove our tape. And if you have a little bit of spot where it doesn't want to come off, you can just take X-Acto knife and cut along . There we go. All right, so the next thing we need to do is attach this little piece on the end. It's a great way to use up some of those small resin pores that you're not sure what you want to do with, but maybe you were just testing out some different things or trying a new mold or something. I think as resin artists, we all have a little box of these things setting somewhere. So we're just going to attach that to the end with some UV resin. So I'm going to go ahead and get my light ready. I'm going to put a drop of UV resin on the end here. Just going to use a little bit to start with, just to get it married. Alright, I'm going to turn my light on, keeping my resin out of the way. Put this in there, and we're going to cure it. Alright, so once it's attached enough that it'll stick together, you can place it under there and pull your hands out. Okay, so now we have it on there well enough to spot cure it. So now we're going to add just a little bit more. I'm going to turn it so that that doesn't drip. I'm going to turn that on. I'm just going to rotate it a little bit and allow it to cure. Once it started curing, we can just lay it down and let it finish. Okay, you guys, now that this is finished up, you can see how cute does that look. I mean, come on. How fun is that? You can create so many different kinds. A lot of times when people do the resin pens, they want you, they recommend you use just the one kind. I can't even remember the name of it, but it's a specific type where the pieces all unscrew. And I just wanted to show you that you can use other kinds of pens. This one. And then this is just a cheap straight pen that I got from the Dollar Tree. And you can see that it's one of those where the end comes out this way. So you can use just about any pen you want, and it can have the little rubber thing grips on it, and it just covers right over really easy, and it's just fine. And then a great way to reuse all of those little pieces that you've had or that you tried to make or whatever, and turn it into something functional and something that somebody can get some enjoyment out of and some use out of. So I mean, come on, who doesn't want to write with a Skella Bunny pen? I mean, so thanks so much for watching, you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hit that like button and that subscribe button for me, if you will. It really helps my channel out. And check out the rest of the videos in the 30 Pours in 30 Days playlist.